Friday, March 13th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you, and a little bit of a different type of weather forecast today than what we've had the past day or two. Let me start off with a couple of live cameras from across the state of North Carolina. On the left, that is the Avalon Pier web camera there at Kill Devil Hills in the Outer Banks. The Beach Mountain Parkway cam on the right. You notice temperatures at both of those sites really fairly similar. Low to mid 40s out there in many spots here as we're starting the day. Temperatures yesterday, not as warm as the day before, but it was still a really nice day overall. A lot of sunshine for a good chunk of the day in North Carolina. Some clouds in South Carolina gradually worked northward. 70 the high in Charlotte and Columbia, 66 in Greensboro and Raleigh for a high, 58 in Boone. Currently, or I should say, let me show you the Triad viewing area, then I'll get into the current temperatures. We have 60s out there across the entire Triad viewing area for highs yesterday, 60s to around 70 in the Charlotte viewing area. All right, there are our current readings this morning. A lot of 40s there for the Triad and Triangle, Sandhills region over toward the coast, even 36 in Greenville. 50s from Charlotte down through much of South Carolina. And we continue to see the storm system that we've been talking about bringing the wet weather to wrap up this week, slowly working our way. The actual low pressure is centered back in Arkansas. And we're going to be looking at a scenario here where we see the rain becoming likely across the region today. I'm cutting this video as normal during the 5 a.m. hour this morning here. And rain fairly widespread off to the west. Let me show you what it looks like. First of all, there's a little rain that's been making it in the parts of the Triad area this morning. But nothing overly heavy at the moment. More widespread rain, although it's still relatively light over much of Georgia and Tennessee, back into Alabama. And the air mass still pretty dry over much of the Carolinas, so it's taking a while to get this rain to settle in. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a process to get the rain to try to settle in around the region. So the result of that will be temperatures probably climbing a little bit more than originally expected today. A lot of us up into the 50s for high temperatures this afternoon. Now the rain is heavy down along the Gulf Coast, down in parts of southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, even up into parts of Arkansas. You have some areas of pretty heavy rain this morning. Now, again, all this is slowly developing our way. Here's what it looks like on the surface map today, that rain trying to become likely today. And then the most extensive period of rain probably tonight in many spots. And then we'll talk about Saturday here in just a second. There's a look at your highs across the region today. Again, we've adjusted these numbers upward a bit due to the rain being a little bit slower in settling in. All right, now, Saturday. We probably start off the day right around daybreak with some rain across many areas, but I don't think it lasts that long. I still think as we get deeper into our Saturday, those rain chances dwindle, and certainly by midday and afternoon, much of the I-85 corridor looks to be in pretty good shape. So, outdoor plans Saturday, I know a lot of folks have some of those coming up tomorrow. Despite what should be a relatively wet early portion of the day, I mean really early portion of the day, I think a lot of the day doesn't wind up looking too terribly bad, although the clouds could linger for much of the day. Rain totals, this is what it looks like on the latest run of the RPM modeling with this system. You have a strip of some heavier rain over toward Raleigh and the eastern Charlotte metro, a third to a half of an inch there, noted right along the Interstate 85 corridor from Charlotte up to Greensboro, and I think a half inch is a good rough estimate for what we could see rain total wise from this system. There's your Saturday highs. Warmer as you head toward the I-95 corridor, probably 60s for the I-85 corridor. And then again, we've been talking about a great weather setup for Sunday. Looks great, that drier air mass settling in. A lot of sunshine for your Sunday, and there's your highs across the region. And really, it's a pretty good weather setup for much of next week. That trough swinging that cold front through here over the weekend, and then it's just basically a northwesterly or a westerly flow through much of the week. So we have pretty warm temperatures Monday and Tuesday with highs probably breaking 70 in a lot of spots early in the work week, and then temperatures trend a little cooler Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Nothing overly cold, but just some cooler air for the back half of the week. And you notice moisture beginning to increase here over the southern plains later Wednesday. We probably will eventually see a little bit of that rain in here by Thursday or Friday. All right, on to the higher resolution modeling. This is the 0Z run of the GFS. This is the precipitation this afternoon and early this evening. And here's the latest high temperature map from the GFS. And again, these numbers are a little warmer than what it looked like originally, simply due to the later arrival of the rain. Now, you still do have some 40s for highs in northeast Georgia, parts of really most of the upstate, and into the foothills. But I think as you get out toward Greensboro and Charlotte, you probably were able to break 50 today in many spots. Now, back to the rain. This is the rain during the pre-dawn hours until around daybreak tomorrow. And this is still not anything overly heavy. No tremendous rain totals there. But then look at this. All right, so this is the rain then from, that would be 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. tomorrow. You notice very little in the foothills and really very little for the I-85 corridor, and then very little through the afternoon too. So I really think once we get past tonight, most of the rain is over for the Charlotte and Greensboro and the upstate areas. Your highs tomorrow, GFS still pushing those temperatures up towards 70 or so around the Charlotte area, upper 60s in the Triad region. We'll see how quickly we can shake free of the wedge setup. And then we get on out to Sunday. Again, high pressure over the Midwest building in. Sunday looks like a great day. Monday looks very quiet as well. We get on out to Tuesday. Pretty quiet conditions overall. Now here we go Wednesday. You notice that, again, that moisture I showed you a moment ago building over the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. This is Thursday through the morning and early afternoon, and then finally as you get into Thursday night and Friday morning, you see some of that rain on the GFS pressing through. Kind of a similar scenario on the European model. This is Thursday evening of next week, some of that rain trying to press on in. Now let me show you the Canadian solution really quick and a couple of the short-range models for the upcoming 24-hour period. This is this afternoon's precipitation on the Canadian. This is through the first half of the night and then the back half of the night until around daybreak. And then the Canadian does linger the rain. This is the first half of the day Saturday, and there's the second half of the day. The Canadian a little slower in clearing things out, but I'm going to go with a quicker end to the rain type of idea for tomorrow, and then down the line next week. There's Thursday night and Friday morning on the Canadian, also showing that rain. Now check this out. This is the NAM, the short-range NAM computer model, and this is the simulated reflectivity product. This is valid this afternoon. You see that rain moving in, but check this out. This is around daybreak tomorrow. Very little rain left around the area. And certainly the lingering areas of light rain diminishing pretty quickly tomorrow. So, again, I think this is the idea. There's daybreak tomorrow, there's early afternoon, just not a lot of rain left. So a lot of the outdoor activity Saturday may be able to get off without any huge weather-related hitches. And here's the total precipitation from the NAM. This is not a big event, 2 to 3, maybe 4/10 of an inch over much of the Piedmont zones. Totals ramp up back toward the mountains. The GFS kind of similar. The first blue contour, that's a ½ inch. So you're under a ½ inch, just under a ½ inch for the Charlotte area over toward Raleigh. And the Canadian, this is the regional Canadian, it is wetter with totals a half to, in some spots, 3/4 of an inch. And then you get into some bigger totals, certainly down into South Carolina and Georgia. But again, the bottom line is here, rain moves in today and continues tonight and then probably exits pretty early in the day tomorrow, if not even before daybreak in some spots. So we'll see how that all plays out. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day, a great weekend, and God bless.